So this was sent over to me by ACBA to review, and this is the Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Z, of course, Super Saiyan Gogeta event exclusive. Only sold, I believe, in New York, and also the premium Bandai website if you were able to get it before it sold out. There is the back of the box. So what's cool about this release is that it's actually the first time we're getting Gogeta in this form from the Fusion Reborn movie, if you remember that movie way back with Janemba. Classic, but yeah, first time we're actually getting this form in this colorway for Gogeta. With other times we've gotten Gogeta was for the Dragon Ball Super version of him with the blue hair, which is more modern, of course, but this is more classic, more throwback to the 90s, especially if you're a fan of Janemba in that movie, then this is probably something you look for. So cool that we finally got it after all these years. It is an exclusive, although I do believe we're probably going to get a regular release of this. It's probably inevitable at this point. But yeah, cool that we're getting them, and maybe we'll get Janemba soon. So as you can see up close, they did go with the metallic paint for the shoulders there. But overall, everything looks pretty good as far as I can see. He does have this normal faceplate right here where he's a little bit more serious. And his next one is this smirk face here where he's kind of smiling. I think I like this one a little bit better than the previous one. If you don't like any of those, you have this option here where he is a little bit more angry. And then lastly, we have this option here where he is, I guess, yelling or powering up, whichever way you want to pose him. But you get 4 different options of expressions, which is cool. Now, another really cool option you can do is this halo effect that they provided you with. You can actually install this on his head, and it looks like this, which is a really cool option that they provided you with, because if you recall from the movie, both Vegeta and Goku were dead. So in Dragon Ball, obviously, whenever someone is dead and they're amongst the living, they have a halo on their head, kind of like an angel, but it just signifies that there is a dead person, I guess, amongst the living, to put things simply. So he does come provided with these fist options, of course, with all the S.H.Figuarts line. They always provide alternate optional hand gestures, so we have these. We also do have these open hands right here, then slightly different posed open hands here like he's about to grab someone. And we have these here, your typical martial arts posing hand. And then lastly, we have one pointing finger, and this is so he could do his special attack, right? So this is kind of like the movie poster pose, but you could really look at the articulation that he has. Pretty basic and standard if you own one of these already, right? Any S.H.Figuarts for that matter. Really nothing new here. We do have the older groin, the older knees. They're still modern, but they're making new ones already, so it's, I guess, older now. But they work. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, swivel, everything that you want. You got the shoulder joints, diaphragm, waist, everything is here. So really no need to go through each one. You got the toe hinges as well. So how does it compare next to the previous release that we got? This is the Super Saiyan God form, or Super Saiyan Blue form, however you want to call it. And when they introduced this one in Dragon Ball Super or in the Broly movie, you can see they changed the colors here slightly. I was born in the 90s, so this is the version on the right that I grew up with. My childhood consisted of this Gogeta, so I'm always going to prefer this version over the newer modern version, especially the form. Yellow is just the more iconic Super Saiyan form for me, but I'm sure there's people that prefer the new one. To each their own. Alright, so that'll wrap things up on this review of the Super Saiyan Gogeta event exclusive. Again, thank you to ACBA for sending this over. Yeah, definitely a good add-on. It's been long overdue that this version comes out. For such an old school classic look. Iconic, some people might say. Yeah, definitely, really nice release, I would say. You can't go wrong with the old classic Dragon Ball Z, 90s, all that good stuff. But let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.